So UFC 326 just happened last night and not great, shall we say. I mean, a card that lived up to its expectations, you could say, which weren't great, right? The expectations, not exactly through the roof, not through the fucking basement either, but just didn't really deliver on what we were expecting. Like, we all knew that this card was just the main event, and I even said it in the prediction video that I done, a pretty meaningless main event because, you know, this isn't a title eliminator, the BMF belt isn't fucking real, but, you know, the winner of this doesn't exactly get anything except another fight before then maybe being put in contention for a title fight. But even at that, I'm going under the assumption that after Gaethje Ilya, Arman is next to get a title shot. He doesn't have to win another fight. If one of these, I say one of these guys, if Oliveira fights Arman in an eliminator and wins, what the fuck are we doing to this division? Because does anybody want to watch that Ilya Oliveira rematch? Seriously? Like, I get that we needed a main event for this card because there was fucking nothing else going on. But, like, we've just fucking painted ourselves into a corner, and it's more self-inflicted damage that UFC just does to itself, and we're going to get onto that because we're going to talk about the commentary. But let's just start off with our main event, Holloway versus Oliveira, number 2. So the fight began, right, and first 30 seconds, they trade, right? The hands look crisp from Holloway. Charles returned with some heavy shots before then grabbing the body lock and slamming Max. And at that point, I knew Charles was going to win. Like I said in my predictions, which I have referenced already, but I will reference again, I could see Oliveira getting caught up in the BMF mentality of stand and bang, right? Or what you thought BMF mentality was before this. And then I thought that Max would just then out-volume Charles to a decision. And then I said with the caveat, right, Max would win so long as Charles, and I said this almost word for word, so long as Charles doesn't charge across the cage, get that body lock on him. Well, Charles charged across the octagon, grabbed the body lock and slammed him on the mat, and I knew right there and then that Oliveira was going to win. This fight was only going to go one way. Charles just ends up sort of putting a grappling clinic on Max is the only way to describe round 1, who, I mean, Max done pretty well to defend, basically just lay there and not get subbed. I was impressed with his defence, I suppose, but round 2 then starts 20 seconds in. Max looks good on the feet and then gets body locked and taken down, and it was a very nice takedown, right? But at this point I was worried for what the fight was going to become because I knew Charles was going to win when I realised he was just so open to the grappling and that was his game plan and that was what he was going to do. Like, I knew he was going to win, but when I seen him come out 20 seconds in, again grab the body lock, get the takedown, you're worried for what the fight was then eventually going to become because the crowd genuinely started booing a minute into round 2 because they knew what was going to happen as well, right? They're not fucking stupid. What I will say here though, these first 2 rounds specifically were different to Islam JDM or a DDP Hamzat because in these first 2 rounds, Oliveira is trying to get submissions. There is intent to finish. Charles is landing elbows, multiple submission attempts. I completely get why people are booing though. Okay, totally understand it. Like, you know Charles can hit really hard and you know Max is amazing on the feet. You put BMF in front of this fight and there is the expectation that you're going to get a little bit of trading on the feet, a little bit of stand-up action. And it was there in spurts. It was there in, again, the first 30 seconds of round 1 and then the first 20 seconds of round 2. So we move into round 3 and you know where this is going. So 30 seconds into round 3, Charles gets the body lock. The crowd starts booing even before the takedown. And I have to say, right, the crowd starts booing again before the takedown even happens. The rest of the card being shit doesn't help this, okay? I get this fight is not what we expect, or some people probably expected this. A lot of people thought this was going to be different. A lot of people picking Max Holloway. Like, the crowd hearing BMF, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway are expecting some stand-up here. But the rest of the card's been so shit that, like, you've been looking forward to this whole time. Like, this has been your, you know, you're looking off into the future, and this is the oasis. This is the escape from the absolute dreck that's been on this card so far. And you've sat through the rest of this thinking, well, at least we're getting this crazy main event. And now they're disappointed because they know what it's going to be. So Charles gets the takedown again. This was a nice takedown here, sort of like a judo style throw. It was really nice. And when he gets the takedown, right, somebody needs to tell Joe Rogan to stop saying the word casual. Just remove it from his vocabulary, because it comes across so obnoxious and almost just looking down your nose at people who have paid fucking stupid money for a ticket to be there. Like, see, when you're paying top dollar for a seat in the bleeds, I think you might be invested in this shit just a little bit. But Joe Rogan constantly calling people casuals on commentary and on his podcast is so off-putting to a new fan who could be watching this for the first time. Or not even just a new fan, a real fucking MMA fan who can look at this fight and understand why people boo this kind of shit, okay? And he does it as he calls people casuals as a way to prop himself up on a pedestal as being a better fan than you, because I appreciate boring groundwork and control time. Like, he is such a problem on commentary. Him and DC next to each other is like audio poison. DC eating on the mic, taking any opportunity he can to talk about how good Khabib and Islam are, again, is just audio poison. And we need changes to commentary now. Seriously. As much as people talk about, and this is just from what I've seen, okay, people are talking about problems with Paramount right now and the actual problems with the streaming. I don't know about them because I don't watch these events on Paramount, so I don't experience those problems here in the UK. But the commentary desk is within the UFC's control, and it's terrible. So, again, back to the action here. Oliveira wins round 3. This time, absolutely no damage. And this hurts because you hate seeing this kind of fight from people that you don't like. Right, I'll use the recent examples of Islam and Hamza. We've name dropped them already, and I used to be fans of those guys, but I then stopped being fans when they started pulling this kind of shit, and it hurts when you see it there. It hurts worse when you see it from a fighter that you actually love, right? You love Charles Oliveira, and watching him do this just fucking depresses you. Look, round 4 and 5 are the same. But I will say, again, the takedown from Charles, they're nice. They're good takedowns. But see, if you do that and then pursue a finish, I would have no issue. Again, round 1 and 2, yeah, it was boring. It was kind of shit. It's not what you expected. But at least he was moving for a finish. Rounds 3, 4, 5, just getting the takedown to rack up control time is just unwatchable. So we had absolutely nothing in round 4. We get to round 5. Charles lands some big shots before Max ends up on top. And DC says Max should just stall to get back to his feet. I could have cried when I heard this. This guy is down 4-0, 3 minutes to go, and you're telling him to stall and run the clock down. I couldn't believe it. And then commentary is some of the worst it's ever fucking been. And look, I'm watching the retro reviews right now for the channel, going all the way back to 1993. The commentary's bad then, it's worse now. I yearn for the days of Jim Brown on commentary with fucking Bruce Beck. Ugh. But commentary is now just bickering amongst each other in like these passive aggressive arguments about what BMF means. Should we expect more striking? Says DC. And Anik and Rogan just gang up on him and shut him down completely. Commentary's an embarrassment, seriously, but that's it. That is the fight. This was not good, to be perfectly honest. Pretty fucking shit. Round 1 and 2, again, I don't hate. Round 3, 4, and 5, just no damage from Oliveira on the top, no action. We had interval, we had spurts of short, again, 20, 30-second moments where there's stand up and they're trading on the feet. And I'm not saying that everything has to be done on the feet for it to be entertaining. I just said I enjoyed round 1 and 2, but you start to get into round 3 and 4 and you see that Oliveira's just riding this clock out to get a decision win. This was just not it. And I said in my predictions that, like, when I said that this fight means nothing, like, where does Max go from here? Where does Charles go from here? Like, Armin has to have the next title fight. Like, a part of me feel, I heard Dana White saying that he still doesn't like Armin and he's still not like 100% on board with giving him a title shot. We can honestly see an eliminator here between Charles and Armin. Like, and see if Charles wins that fight. Does anyone want to see the rematch with Ilya? So now you've just put a loss, you've just halted Armin's momentum. Now Charles then has to go and get slimed out again by Ilya. Where does Max go from here? Does he fight fucking BSD? BSD, whose biggest win is over Dan Hooker? I mean, look, people might want to see that fight. That might not be terrible. But all I'm saying is we've seen what BSD done to someone with absolutely no ground game whatsoever. And I don't really give a shit about Dan Hooker. I don't want to see that happen again to Max Holloway. You know, it's just not fucking bueno, mate. Just not good. But I have a video that predicted the rest of the main card. And my predictions were a mixed bag, to say the least. But we'll look at Baralho versus De Ridder real quick. Baralho takes round 1. And he done pretty well here in round 1, I thought. Whenever De Ridder was moving towards him, he would throw a nice combo, which would then get these like big reactions from De Ridder and just send him straight flying back. I thought Baralho easily took round 1. Round 2, De Ridder going for takedowns. And Baralho just grabbing the fence to stop the takedowns. Just nothing done by the referee, and commentary start laughing about it. I mean, look, just fence grabbing, again, never penalised. Let's not let the rules get in the way of a fair fight. De Ridder ends up getting held against the cage. No, sorry, not De Ridder. Baralho ends up getting held against the cage and just looking to Herb Dean to save him. Like, they're not against the cage that long. Nothing just so egregious that you're expecting, right, okay, referee, break this up. He's just looking at Herb Dean. Please save me. He doesn't. But he ends up getting off the cage anyway. Nothing happened in round 2, really. Probably a De Ridder round. But, again, a fucking dead round, to be honest. Baralho ends up taking the third. Unconvincing from both, to say the least. And again, the questions that I have about the main event, I still have here. Like, where do both of these guys go? Nobody here really put down a marker. Nobody made this their fight. I don't see either of these guys making a championship run anytime soon. Baralho wins. Brendan Allen's been out since last year. Like, maybe he's next for Baralho. Allen hasn't fought since October, so it's been a while. We might need to wait for Baralho to come back. But both men have just beaten De Ridder in their last fight. Baralho just fought in Mavov. That was a bit of a jump. Too big of a jump for him. Maybe Allen is a more approachable fight, or maybe we wait and see who wins between Pfeiffer and Adesanya, but time will tell. We just need to wait and see. Because, I mean, that actually might impact De Ridder's next opponent as well. Otherwise, he's staring down the barrel of a fucking Cannonier or Paulo Costa. Shit like that, a little further down the rankings. But, I mean, I don't want to be here all day Raul Rosas Jr. is a fucking little gremlin. Like, you thought Oliveira and Holloway was bad, man. This fucking guy. Oh, put him in the fucking apex, man. I don't know why he's protected. I don't know why UFC like him. Fuck this guy. Genuinely terrible. Rob Font, please retire. Second fight on the main card, Drew Dober absolutely fucking destroys Michael Johnson. And the streak goes on. I mean, I've seen the videos of him going up to Michael Johnson trying to say here, I'm not actually racist. Which is hilarious. But again, look, Michael Johnson, 39 years old. Retire, my friend. Just retire. Drew Dober, you won. You can get another opponent, but you're 37 years old too. This is what I mean. Why is this fight on the main card of a pay-per-view when there's like no real upside to either guy getting a win? The guy who loses just goes and fights more unranked opponents. Like, why is this on the main card? And look, first fight of the night, RoboCop gets his revenge. Was that the name of one of those RoboCop movies? It should be RoboCop's Revenge. He ends up sliming out Bruno in round 1, getting that payback, and good for him. But look, not great, not a great night for the sport, not one that will, live on in the annals of UFC history, not one that I think many people will go back and watch. Because, like, genuinely nothing really, nothing on this card. Nothing. So, look, that's it. I have the reaction to this card here, 326 up today. We're going to have a White House reaction tomorrow. We have retro reviews coming up. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notify bell to stay up to date with all of that as that drops. Like this video, comment your own thoughts below. And yeah, share the channel. We're still new to the YouTube. So share this channel with someone that you think will want to watch the content. But look, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.